And the sec and
Sorry.
then second
So
yeah, I'm sorry.
your question is she has deployed 3 times in the
Yeah, in total 6 times. First of all, first backend, then front end, and then backend, and then front end again. So connect to the front end and backend. So my question is, the second time, she creating a Docker file, and then okay. So what the purpose? Second time she deployed, and then third time, get the website image, right? Maybe can you explain just? Then
sure.
I can. Yeah.
The first time is the bare, we call the bare metal. There is no like a good or bad in the first time or second time. First time is you just deployed manually. What is the problem is in the first time approach means each time you have to do manually over and over. Okay, as mentioned in my like the Docker based environment and non Docker based environment. So she has to do everything manually. Okay, whatever you have done manually is good. It is working on one computer. And but think about it. If you have a 500,000 the customer, okay, and if you do the same thing on one computer, you cannot. Minimum you need a 20, 30, 50 computer. In an 8 hours, you just cannot do this work. Basically, cannot. Okay. If you do, it is not going to be effective. Okay. Even if you have a load balancer, because all this manual work. So then it coming to the second type, which is Docker based. Docker based deployment is once you you make the Docker file, means all the manual command, the node npm, npm, and run start, right? And then the same Docker file you can actually run any computer. It means now, if you provision, means if you created like the 40 server on the EC2 server using Terraform, it's an example, that's another tools, or you created manually, all you need to do, install the Docker and then pull the Docker file and it will work. So it actually reduced your time, reduced your manual effort. Okay. And the third time she did is, well, now you have a 50 computer, they're everywhere, right? There is still there is still the cloning, means they're separated. But 500,000 people you cannot actually support by one computer. These all 50 computers need to work together. This is called the cluster. This cluster is also managed by the software. That software called the Docker Swarm. The swarm, it act like a 50 computer, means the 50 computer resource is one. So in this case, if I have a 500,000 request, no problem, because I have not, we have the 50 computers instead of the one computer. Now the summarize is, if you don't know the initial deployment, you will not know the Docker file build as well. And if you don't know the Docker file build, you will not know the Docker compose at all. If you don't know the Docker file, Docker compose, you will never know the benefits of the Docker swarm. That's the reason she showed 3 times. That's the reason you always start with the manual, right? You have to know things manually. Example, if you do not want to write the HTML, CSS yourself, you can use many framework, okay, and design, means it is ready to go. But what are the problem will be? You will never be able to build anything custom at all. Custom means raw HTML, raw CSS. Means you will be building, you see a pad, you can do the padding, you can make a table, you can give the specific spacing, because you know the raw HTML, CSS. It's called the manual. Once you know the manual, automation become easy, because automation just makes your life easy. Automation just reduce your time, make you productive, make the whole process robust. So first is manual, then the improve with the Docker file, then we are running the multiple services in the front and back end through the Docker Compose, and then of course Docker Compose we already learned it is not scaling anything, and is only for the developer and the small environment. Then we went to the Docker Swarm, which is the cluster, which the purpose of the cluster is running many computers on and provide the same code base, so that you can serve hundred or thousand or million of clients, because that's called the cluster. The cluster is nothing but many computers work together, they like the same. Okay, that's the cluster. The last one is